was looking around on YouTube for any discussion about an Arlecchino national team, or what would probably be known as Fatherational, and for whatever reason, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of talk, so let's get into it. We're here with Arlecchino and Masanori, and, well, yeah, it'd be a team that looks like this. There is one documented example, at least, that I could find on YouTube, and I don't know, it didn't look all that great.
Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. You're toast. I'm the right hand.
And the thing about it is that, like, it seems like Xingqiu can sort of keep up, but not at the early stages. This is a bit weird, and then, you know, it's a bit here and there in terms of his hydro application.
Overrule. Let's light it up. Rain cutter.
And so, I guess that's probably the reason why this team doesn't get talked about too much, because the premise of just using Xingqiu as the only hydro app is probably not the best. On top of that, this is of course a team involving Bennett, who is a non-character, which basically makes this a non-conversation. So how do we fix that particular problem? We use a far better character called Yelan. That way we have double hydro, which means we have enough hydro application. But then on top of that, we also have the access to Yelan's incredible forward waves. Like so.
Gotcha. Busted. These are about to get dicey.
Yelan's skill tends to do quite a lot of damage, and then on top of that, now that we have both Yelan and Xingqiu, we are definitely got enough hydro app.
Body in the witness the power.
Ideally, I would have funneled
Quietly now. Busted.
the particles from Arlecchino into Xiangling, but that's okay. I kind of screwed it up on the second round, but the first round is the rotation that I'd recommend. Xingqiu into Arlecchino, into Xiangling, into Yelan, into Arlecchino. That's the rotation that I think works pretty well for a team like this, and this is a team that you could potentially swap C6 Candace with, if you happen to have C6 Candace. It's just that for me personally, my Candace is a mainstay for my Nilou teams and is therefore usually not really built for this kind of fiasco. We're talking about a full EM Candace, that's what I'm usually playing. So, in lieu of that, Yelan is just a really, really good choice. Of course, this team doesn't exactly have a healer, so the idea is to try and be as skillful as possible when you're rotating through Xingqiu, Xiangling, and Yelan. And then with Arlecchino, because she can heal herself, and you're also taking less damage when you have Xingqiu and his skill and his rain swords on the field. That way, you can basically just sort of use Yelan not only as like an on-field DPS, but then also kind of like an on-field tank. She just basically tanks all the damage and then hopefully heals it all up with her ult. So that's the idea with that. My Xiangling and Arlecchino build cards are probably been shown. So real quick, my Xingqiu build, it's not built for DPS. He is built for hydro damage, actually, because his damage reduction is tied to his hydro damage stat. And that way I have nearly 50% damage reduction coming from him. So that's pretty nice. And then on top of that, my Yelan build is my usual DPS Yelan build. EOSF. And then we move on. So, yeah, it's a team that does a lot of damage. It's a team that also takes care of making use of Xiangling's ability to vaporize with no ICD. But it's also a team that makes use of Yelan's skill, because it is a skill that tends to do quite a lot of single hit damage, which is great when you forward vape it, because that's one gigantic forward vape hit, usually hitting around 100k. So there's like 200k in her forward vape skills just there, ready to go. And of course, I've probably put way more investment in my Yelan build than my Xiangling build. So me personally, I'm absolutely perfectly fine not vaping a couple of Xiangling's hits in favor of vaping a couple of Yelan's hits. But if you're the kind of player who has put a lot more investment into your Xiangling, Then, of course, you could just change the rotation around a little bit. Maybe go Xingqiu, Yalan, Arlecchino, Xiangling, and then wait a small bit. And then, you know, do your charge attack with Arlecchino so that you have cooked the tag. But otherwise, I'm absolutely perfectly happy with this particular rotation. And so I present Fatherational. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. How do you feel about Fatherational? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Genshin Impact action, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Overruled. Nice and spicy. Hey-ya! Gotcha. Your verdict is decided, Teyvat. Everlasting as the moon.
Only emptiness away.